मुंह तो बंद करो अंकल। मुंह तो बंद करो अंकल।
आपने मौसम बदल दिया।
Oh my God! So you wait for the finale. I can never forget that moment when the legendary Mohammed Rafi gave me a hug and then spoke to my dad, said, "Your son is very talented." So mine like gori 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 kabhi kabhi kahin kahin chori chori jab jab gaitam mera karo pyari pyari baat baat kiya karo par yu na milna kisi se kahin. Hamare siwa khushi, you have to give back to the community that has given you so much. Ye moh moh ke dhage teri ungliyon se ja ulje. Okay, and I'm so happy to speak to you, Khushi, and speak to all my fans in Canada.
Hello and good morning, everyone. This is KHUSHI DAVE, and today we have a very, very special episode. Someone who is a prominent figure in the Bollywood music industry, has composed music for more than 400 films, over 1,700 songs, is a 3-time national award winner for the Best Music Director, and my guest today, the living legend, the one and only Anu Malik. Welcome, sir. Your fans in Canada have desperately been waiting to hear from you. How are you?
I'm okay, and I'm so happy to speak to you, Khushi, and speak to all my fans in Canada.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming in today. This is such a surreal moment for me. I've been watching you on TV. I've been listening to your songs. I've watched you as a judge on Indian Idol since I was young. And now that you're sitting in front of me, I'm completely speechless. So before I lose my train of thought, let's jump straight into the interview.
Sure.
So you are a crucial part of the Hindi film industry. You have had back-to-back hit songs sung and composed by you. And it's no surprise you've come this far because of the creativity in your music that's led to evergreen music. So your fans in Canada are curious to know, how was Anu Malik inspired into becoming the Anu Malik, and how you became the legend that you are today?
Well, to answer your question in a nutshell, I mean, if I start talking, it'll take years to tell you how it actually started. But when I was a kid, I was drawn to music. I was hardly, 7.
Right.
Being born in a musical family, I could hear my dad's strains of music on his harmonium, and I got attracted to it. There were times when I used to, I still have that habit. I would just pick up a line written on a newspaper or some word, and just for the heck of it, I would like to see that can I compose a melody on those words.
Right.
So it is something very strange. For example, every human being on this planet has a certain talent, which is God-given. And I didn't know that I could do this, but I do remember picking up a few sentences here and there and start humming putting tunes. So my father caught me in this act and said, "What are you doing actually?" I said, "I am composing, I'm singing something." He said, "Okay, I'll give you a piece of paper and I'll write some words. Can you do it right now in front of me?" So I started, I said, "Okay," and I hummed a line on his words. And he says, "You know what?" He gave me a big hug and said, "You are my Mozart." I said, "What happened, Dad?" He said, "You're gifted by something." When he started, Dad was facing tough times and financially, and I could see things were not okay. So I started, taking my harmonium and meeting those producers, directors. I was hardly, 11 when I started meeting people, and some people used to wonder, they used to laugh at this little kid. What is he trying to do? But then when I started composing a lot of melodies and I started having to producers, directors, somebody said, "This boy, comes out with tunes which are very catchy, which we haven't heard before." And one thing led to another, Khushi. And there was this producer who said, "Why don't we have some tunes to me?" I was actually, my exams for masters, I and my wife completed an MA, Masters of Art in entire politics. So one of the producers called me over and said, "Can you hum some melodies to me?" And I hummed certain melodies. And I was hardly 16 when I got my first chance. And that was it. So all of a sudden I was, I had a foothold in the industry, but I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know how to be produced. Like today we have the Google, we have technology at such a state when you want to connect with somebody. There are so many platforms where you can showcase your talent today. In those days, we didn't have any platform to, showcase our talents. We had to go on knocking on producers. Now, what is a producer? A producer is the one who makes a film. And what is a director? The director is the man who directs the film. And I had to find out who is this director, who is the producer. And, it was tough financially when you don't have the infrastructure to meet people. All you had is your harmonium. I used to carry it with me and try to meet people and try to knock on the doors. So when you say, if I become the legend, it's been a lot of hard work. And also, you're very young, but just to tell the audience that in those days, there were some great composers like R.D. Burman and Lakshmikant Pyarelal and Kalyanji Anandji. If you Google these names, they are great, fabulous composers. We had great singers like Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle, Mohammed Rafi, Kishore Kumar. And a lot was happening. Now for a 16-year-old boy like me to process everything was very difficult. On one side, I wanted to prove to my family that, "Dad, I'll make you proud. Dad, I'll one day, the world should know who you are." Actually, the journey started for me trying to prove to my dad that I'm very good, trying to tell the world that I come from a very talented family. And then one thing led to another, and with these great composers around, it was not easy for me to get even a foothold inside the industry because these guys were doing some great work. But I kept pushing myself. So the thing is, I never gave up. I never stopped believing in myself and my talent. So to summarize this question of yours and the answer that I'm giving is that I believe that I could do it. I believe that I have the melodies. I've been blessed by Saraswati Ma. I believe that I have a lot to give to the world in terms of my music. I believe that I can compose, I can create, I can hum, I can sing, I can even write words. And this talent is here to be given to the world. It was not for me. It's to make someone out there happy. We live in a world full of strife. We live in a world full of pain, actually. Pleasures are few and in between, but it's a struggle for every human being on planet Earth. It's a struggle. And I said, when a person comes home, that was my thought process at that time. It still is. Someone who hears my melody should be very happy. So I wanted to make songs. Along the interview, you'll come to know what songs I've made. So I started making songs which could make people happy, emotional, and bring a smile on their faces. So I felt God has given me this talent to give back to the world.